sir.
Okay, thank you for that. Julie, can you see my screen? Oh, okay, okay, good. All right, I see your emojis now. Thank you. Okay, so by way of the IASB Clarity Project, can we review these short questions quiz to see if we can remember what the project is all about? Number one, what is the main objective of the IASB Clarity Project? A, to introduce new auditing standards. B, to simplify financial statements disclosure. C, to comprehensively review ISAs and ISQCs for clarity and consistency. D, to replace all existing ISAs with new standards.
C.
Okay, I is picking C.
Yes, C.
A is picking C. J, what are you picking?
C, please.
J is picking C. All right. When did the clarified ISAs come into effect? A, 1st January 2009. B, 15
I have to
December.
remember this also.
God.
July. ICAN will not ask you this one. This one is just for short
I
terms.
remember this one. It's history class.
I choose D.
I know it's December, but I can't remember.
I choose D.
Okay.
Okay.
So this one
I
is
choose
get
B.
more.
I choose B.
Okay, so J is going for B.
I'll just go for
I
B.
is going for D. Okay, so A is guessing B, or maybe because J said B, she's going for B.
No. I just know it's December, but I know it's.
I know it's December too. I don't
December.
remember the year.
Yeah, so B and D is the option.
December 2009. I don't know the month. I don't know the day. But I know it's December 2009.
Anyway, I can't not ask you this one. So final answer, J is going for B. I is going for D. A is going for B. Are you changing your mind or you want to stick to your D?
I'm staying there, sir.
Okay, that's good. All right, so number 3, which new ISA was introduced as part of the Clarity Project? ISA 320, ISA 450, ISA 265, ISA 505.
D.
ISA 505. D. J is going for D. Hi, what are you going for? Which new ISA was introduced as part of the Clarity Project?
I say 505, sir. D.
Okay, D. A, what are you going for?
I don't want to follow the crowd. I'll go for B. I'm not sure.
If the crowd go and enter gutter, what are you going for?
I'm going for A.
Okay, she decided to go for another option. All right. One of the key changes in the clarity and the clarified ISAs was replacing which term to eliminate ambiguity? A, may with will. B, should with shall. C, could with must. D, might with ought.
B.
Which one of the key?
Should and shall.
B.
Okay, J is going for B. A is going for B. Hi, what are you going for?
It's already B, sir.
Okay. Because of other school? All right.
No, going by the rules of English.
Okay, that's nice logic. What was the primary reason for revising ISA 540 on auditing accounting estimates? What was the primary reason for revising ISA 540 on auditing accounting estimates? To introduce new financial statement formats, to improve rigor and skepticism in auditing estimates.
B.
The J is speaking so fast. I too concur. B. Okay. A is allowing me to read the other options. To remove fair value accounting estimates. That was sharp of you. You really remember ISA 540. All right. To remove fair value accounting estimates from audit procedures. To limit the auditor's responsibility in evaluating estimates. What was the primary reason for revising ISA 540 on auditing accounting estimates? So we're waiting for A now. A, what's your pick?
B.
Okay, she went for B. All right. Final answer B. So judgment B. Let's go. What was the main objective of
We can see the answer for one.
Clarity? Yeah. So the Clarity project aimed to enhance the clarity, consistency, and understandability of international standards in auditing, international standards on quality control. This involved redrafting and revising standards to remove inconsistencies, ensure uniform interpretation, and improve the overall quality of audits. Everybody got it. C. All right. Number 2. This one is an irrelevant. It's not applicable to me. Well, then those that guessed B. Okay. B. J got it. B. A got it. B. But ICAN will not ask you this anyway. This one is just internal.
I'm getting it now.
Got it correct. The IASB approved the Clarity ISAs in 2007-2008, and they became effective for audits of financial statements for the periods beginning on or after 15 December 2009. All right, nice one. Which new ISAs was introduced as part of the Clarity project?
I think I was looking at 265.
265. Everybody got it wrong. But same, ICAN will not ask you this question too. So nobody will say what was introduced per pattern. No. ICAN will not ask this. They only ask you 265 to apply it to a question. So just go back and understand. Yes, no, ICAN will not ask you this
from 200, 210, 260, 265.
Yes. So you need to know those standards and understand the application. So ISA 265 is communicating deficiencies in internal control to those charged with governance.
Yeah.
So just go back and revise
it. Okay.
Yeah. So that's ISA 265. So don't mind you fail this one. It's not applicable to the exams. All right. This I think is applicable. What is the primary reason for revising ISA 540 on auditing accounting estimates? Yes, to improve rigor and skepticism in accounting estimates. So accounting estimates, auditing accounting estimates, including fair value accounting estimates and related disclosures, aim to enhance professional skepticism, yes, and strengthen the audit procedures around management estimates. Auditors are required to better assess estimation, uncertainty, and management bias. Exactly, everybody got it. The ones you feel are not relevant to our exams. This is more relevant and you got it. Okay, so number 4. Okay, number 4, I skipped it. I went to number 5. So number 4, should and shall. Everybody, in fact, you guys just picked it so straight. The Clarity project replaced should and shall to make auditors' responsibility more explicit. Shall conveys a mandatory requirement, reducing ambiguity. Exactly. So J 80, 4/5. I 60, 3/5, and A 80, 4/5. All right, nice. So the essential ones, you guys got it, and I'm happy. The ones that are not applicable. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, thank you. I can see you clapping. I see your emoji. Nice one. Okay, so finally for this session, let's look at overall objective of the independent auditor and the conduct of an audit in accordance with ISA. So ISA 200 is specific on this, and it always shows up, or it's a testable area. It's an examinable area by the examiner. So take note of this ISA 200. And as it's coming specifically at a separate section, it shows it's important to take note of that. So the ISA is an overall objective of the auditor in the conduct of audits in accordance with ISAs. This is very important. So the objectives of the auditor as per ISA 200 is to obtain reasonable assurance whether financial statements are as a whole free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error. So this ISA is very important because the standards are to be abided by, and you must not conduct audits outside the standards. The standards guide you. They provide a framework. They provide a guide. So you must stay within the purview of the standard. So ISA 200, one of it is, the objective is to ensure that assurance is provided whether the financial statements are free from material misstatements or fraud and error. Very essential assurance to be provided. This allows the auditor to give an opinion, whether qualified or unqualified, on whether or not the financial statements have been prepared in accordance with the applicable IFRS. So another objective is whether IFRS is applied or another set of framework is applied. So that needs to be validated and approved or verified by the auditor to ensure the applicable framework in that jurisdiction is applied in preparing those financial statements. And also to report the financial statements and communicate as required by other ISAs in line with ISA 200 in accordance with the auditor's findings. So where other ISAs are to be applied, the objective is to ensure the auditor conducts the audit in accordance with all these ISAs that are applicable. It's very important he stays and is guided by these ISAs. So where the auditor is unable to obtain reasonable assurance and the qualified opinion is insufficient, the auditor must disclaim an opinion or resign. The different types of opinions are covered in a later chapter. I'll be looking at it. So critically, where the auditor is unable to provide an assurance due to some bottlenecks or some issues that arose during the audit, and that he's not able to provide a qualified or an unqualified opinion. A qualified opinion is an unclean report, while an unqualified opinion is a clean report. So where he's unable to come about these two decisions, he should disclaim an opinion and state why he's not able to provide any of the first two opinions, or he should resign. And this is where critical matters have not been resolved or are not clear. So we'll also look at the types of opinion and provide clarity to them. I believe we know them, the clean and the unclean. So the clean is the unqualified and the unclean is the qualified. Then we have adverse and we have disclaimer. So we'll look at the disclaimer of these four opinions later, I think in chapter 5. But then what is important in ISA 200 is for the auditor to be able to provide reasonable assurance on the financial statement. If he can't, then he should disclaim or issue a disclaimer of opinion. In line with what you should remember from your previous studies, ISA 200 requires the auditor to comply with all ISAs relevant to audit and also comply with relevant ethical requirements. So this is very important. So ISA 200 is like the mother that guides the application or applicability of all the other ISAs, and also every ethical requirements based on the auditor's judgments must be applied during the course of any engagement or any audit work that is embarked upon. Also, plan and perform an audit with professional skepticism. So have an inquiry mind, have a question in mind, question the financial statements, their reliability, their true and fair view. It's an important aspect of the audit work. So professional skepticism is very important. Also, exercising professional judgment in planning and performing an audit is also key based on this objective. So the judgment of the auditor comes to play, especially where we are principle-based audit jurisdiction framework, and also planning and performing the audit based on this is very essential. And in doing the job, obtaining sufficient and appropriate evidence to allow the auditor to obtain reasonable assurance is very important. So where there is no audit evidence, then assurance cannot be provided. So sufficient audit evidence in form of substantive procedures, audit procedures, checks, reviews, and documented evidence is necessary to be able to provide assurance that the job has been done and assurance has been provided. Very, very essential. So that will be the end of the session on overall objective of the independent auditor and conducting an audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. So do we have any question on ISA 200 generally as a guide? And I think we have 8 minutes more. We should be able to close after this last session. We are moving to another section after this That will be next week in the next class. Any question on ISA 200? Hope we have not slept to any question. I know we are tired.
No question.
Okay. All right, so let's run to the test. I like the ISA, it's very straightforward. Number one, what is the primary objective of an independent auditor under ISA 200? A, to detect all fraud in an organization. B, to obtain absolute assurance that financial statements are free from misstatements. B, to obtain reasonable assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatements due to fraud and error. B, to prepare financial statement in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework. So what is the...
I said I'm in lectures, I'll call you back.
B.
Okay. I say
A.
She has changed her mind to A again.
No, you said I, so I said A.
Okay. A is going for B. I, what are you going for?
Hello.
Yes, Jay, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, Jay. Maybe it's her network. She has even gone off. All right. What's your pick? What is the primary objective of an independent auditor under ISA 200? You are muted if you are speaking.
He slept off just like I did the other time.
It's getting late actually. After a hectic day at work, it's not easy. Okay, I believe they will come back. So let's go to number 2. If an auditor is unable to obtain reasonable assurance...
Sorry, could you please go back, sir? My screen just came up. Sorry.
Oh, okay. The J is back. In her network, she had a call, so somebody disrupted. Yes, I guessed as much. I noticed it too. All right, so let's go back to number 1. What is the primary objective of an independent auditor under ISA 200? To detect all fraud in an organization, to obtain absolute assurance that financial statements are free from misstatements, to obtain reasonable assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatements due to fraud and error. Okay. I is picking C. Then D, to prepare financial statements in accordance with the applicable financial framework.
C.
So, okay. J picked C, I picked C, A picked B. All right. So let's go number 2. If an auditor is unable to obtain reasonable assurance and issuing a qualified opinion is insufficient, what will the auditor do? Or what should the auditor do? A, issue an unqualified opinion with emphasis of matter. B, disclaim an opinion or resign from the engagement. C, provide a modified opinion with additional disclosures. D, adjust the financial statements to remove uncertainties. If an auditor is unable to obtain reasonable assurance and issuing a qualified opinion is insufficient, what should the auditor do?
B.
Let's say so, B too.
Okay, disclaim an opinion or resign from the engagement. Okay, J, B. I, B. A, what's your pick?
I will go with the crowd.
Why are you going with the crowd?
I am yet to know the difference.
Do you know that throughout this last lecture, last lecture I was sleeping. It just sensed I was going to answer these things. I was tired.
You were saying, you guys are all tired. You had a hectic day, I understand. Hey, you were saying something while you are going with the crowd. Why are you going with the crowd?
Because I'm not yet clarified with qualified opinion and unqualified opinion, actually.
Okay. I'll provide a bit of clarity when when we are done with the test. Okay, so if you go with the crowd, if everybody falls, you fall. If everybody rise, you rise.
Yeah.
All right. According to ISA 200, which principle must an auditor apply when planning and performing an audit? A, professional skepticism. B, absolute assurance. C,
A.
judgment.
A.
D. Okay. I is going for A. A is going for A. I know J is going to
A.
change that. J is
A.
going. She's going for A
A.
too. All
Yes.
right. Number 4, which of the following is not a requirement under ISA 200? Complying with relevant ethical requirements, preparing financial statements for the client, obtaining sufficient and appropriate audit evidence, exercising professional judgment in planning and performing an audit. Which of the following is
B.
not?
B.
B.
Okay. J and A, so fast. B. I is going to have something different. I, what's your answer?
I think you're right, sir, because my screen just toggled to where you are now, and I'm going to have something different, but I choose B.
But that's not different. Very funny. You got me in that one. That's good. Okay, so finally, why is obtaining sufficient and appropriate audit evidence crucial in an audit? It ensures the financial statements are completely accurate. It allows the auditor to obtain reasonable assurance before forming an opinion. C, it replaces the need for management representation. D, it guarantees that fraud will be detected in every audit.
B.
Why is obtaining sufficient evidence and appropriate audit evidence crucial in an audit? Okay, A is being B. So I and J, what are you
B,
going
sir.
for?
B.
B.
Everybody B. All right, so let's see. Number 1, what is the primary objective of an independent auditor under ISA 200? C. Everybody got C. Only A changed her mind. A said, yeah. So the answer is not B because you cannot provide absolute assurance. Exactly. So in fact, the Institute of Internal Auditors stated it clearly for us, internal audits aside external auditors. No audit provides absolute assurance. No matter what an audit, you can't say 100% everything is clear. It's not possible. So you cannot have 100% clarity in audit. So have that at the back of your mind. And when I came into internal audits, I got that from the IIA standard. Assurance can never be absolute. It can be reasonable, it can be limited, or none. Yeah, so in doing your audit work, you can never say everything is clear. There are some things you see based on your framework, based on procedures you performed. You can only provide reasonable assurance. There are some fraud that the fraud that is going on, even you when they discover it or it comes to light, you'll be surprised.
Wow.
All this under my nose.
Mhm.
Even external auditors will be shocked. But then that is why first you cannot provide absolute assurance. So get that correctly. Absolute assurance is impossible in auditing. So it can be reasonable and be limited or no assurance. Exactly. So that's clear. So the explanation is the auditor's main objective is to provide reasonable assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatements. This allows the auditor to express an opinion on whether the financial statements are fairly presented in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework. Okay. So like Julie used to say, if you fail it, you can never fail it again. So this one is nice. All right. So number 2, the answer is B. Disclaim an opinion or resign from the engagement. Everybody got it. B. So if the auditor cannot obtain sufficient audit evidence and a qualified opinion will be inadequate to address the uncertainty, they must either disclaim an opinion, that is, state that they cannot express an opinion, and that's what disclaimer means. So A, you can get a clue to what disclaim means. It means they cannot express an opinion, and that's what disclaimer means, or withdraw from an audit engagement. So a qualified opinion means you are clean. An unqualified opinion means you are not clean. There are issues, material issues. Then disclaimer of opinion means we cannot express an opinion. So we cannot state whether it's clean or unclean. That's what disclaimer means. Then what does adverse mean? Adverse opinion means that the auditor adversely has an issue with your financial statements. So what does that mean? what does adverse opinion mean, so that we can have the detail of the 4 opinions in brief. So an adverse opinion means that the auditor is providing this opinion because he's adversely opposed to what the results, based on the sufficient evidence, based on his substantive procedures that he has performed.
I'm sorry, sir, the network went off.
Oh, okay. How far is it back
Adverse
now?
opinion.
Yes.
It just shook a bit. Adverse opinion, please. Can you come again?
Okay, so yes. So the adverse opinion in audit states briefly that the auditor is not able to come up with either a clean and unclean, and also he cannot disclaim whether he cannot provide an opinion. So in succinct explanation, an adverse opinion is unclear to the auditor. So he's not giving an opinion, and he's not providing either a clean or unclean report. So I'll use an example to buttress it. Let me use an example. So during an audit engagement, when financial statements have been issued, now the financial statements provided to the auditor for his review do not represent the company's financial position in accordance to its applicable accounting standard. This is where the auditor will issue an adverse opinion. So in a situation where financial statements are to be prepared in line with IFRS, for example, in Nigeria, and the company prepares it based on GAAP, General Accounting, Acceptable Accounting Principles in the US, you issue an adverse opinion. The results may be the same with what applicable framework was prepared. So you prepared your financial statements based on GAAP instead of IFRS, and the auditor cannot provide whether it's clean or not clean because that framework does not apply to our jurisdiction. So this is the most serious type of audit opinion and indicates significant misstatements or even fraud. So Nigeria States or the UK, you use IFRS and you use GAAP, maybe because the company in Nigeria is an American company and it's a branch or a component, you decided to use GAAP. No. An auditor will issue an adverse opinion in that audit. And it's issued because the auditor determines that the financial statement materially misstates facts and do not represent the company's financial position in accordance with applicable accounting standards. So the adverse opinion is close to a qualified opinion, but it's not the same. It's adverse, but it's not as serious as unclean. So you may be clean, but there are issues with your cleanliness. That's what the adverse opinion means. I hope I'm able to provide some clarity. I don't know. Do you get it? Sorry, are you there? Hey, are you there?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so did you get my little explanation on the adverse opinion?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. So, number 3, we're looking at our answers. According to IAC 200, what principle must an auditor apply when planning and performing an audit? A, professional skepticism. Professional skepticism is key requirement in auditing. It means maintaining a questioning mindset and critically assessing audit evidence rather than assuming that management's statements are accurate. Exactly. So A, everybody got it. Number 4, why is obtaining sufficient and appropriate audit evidence crucial in an audit? It allows the auditor to obtain reasonable assurance before forming an opinion. Exactly. B. Okay, that was number 5. And number 4, which of the following is not a requirement under ICAN 200? Exactly. Everybody got number 4 to B. Preparing financial statements for the client. Auditors are responsible for auditing financial statements, not preparing them. Very clear. Preparing financial statements is management's duty. Exactly. Okay, so that will be the end of professional standards in Unit 2 on our Module 2, which is Chapter 2, the regulatory environment. So on Tuesday, we'll be looking critically into corporate governance, and corporate governance will not be as long as professional standards, because professional standards are much and they are adequately needed to pass the AAA. So that's why we took time especially to look at the standards, and we tested ourselves with quizzes to validate our understanding of professional standards. So we took a lot of time, but we'll not be spending that much time with corporate governance, money laundering, consideration of laws and regulations in an audit of financial statement, which is ISA 250, before we wrap up Chapter 2. So we're not going to spend time. I think corporate governance we should be able to end in one class, money laundering also in one class, and Chapter 5 also in one class. So next week, I think we should be done with Chapter 2